income statement. Now the format is what? See the format. Very simple. Now it's a P&L statement, income statement. So first will be what? Your income. And income is always from what? Sales. What beta? Sale. Revenue from operation. That is what known as sales. Now what is written here? Gross sales. What beta? Gross sales. But we have to find out what net sales. So how to get the net sales? If any returns are there, what? Returns. Returns means what? Sales return. What beta? Sales return. So that will be deducted. What? That will be what? Deducted. So start with what? Sales return. Means that sales return will be deducted. So your first point is what? Gross sales. And after that what? You have to deduct your sales return. Then what you will get? You will get your net sales. What beta? Net sales. And net sales is nothing but your revenue from operation. Net sales is also known as revenue from operation. If you see the vertical income statement of different companies, then you will get the revenue from operation. Oh my God, this is the revenue from operation. And revenue from operation is what? Very essential to get the analysis and see the company, means company progress, how the company is performing. Right? Because revenue from operation is what? Main source of income. What beta? It's a main source of income. So what you will get here? Net sales. Right? So first of all, gross sales. Then what? You have to deduct what? Sales return. Then you will get what? Your net sales. Now the main thing. हो गया आपका sales हो गया, income आ गया, revenue from operation. Now revenue from operation we have derived. Now what? We have to deduct all the expenses because it's a P&L statement. What is it? It's a P&L statement, profit and loss statement. So अब आपका income तो मिल गया. So पहले देखना ना अभी expenses. What are the expenses? Those expenses we have to deduct it. What बेटा? Those expenses we have to deduct it. So find, see, what are the expenses? So step by step. Now what do you have to deduct? Cost of goods sold. First expense is what? Cost. क्या बेटा? Cost. अभी आपने सुना ही है. Sales minus cost. What? Sales minus cost is equal to क्या? Profit. Simple सा rule है बेटा. So sales, you have seen it at the initial stage. Your sales is there. That is net sales. Now what you have to deduct? Cost. Now first cost, that is COGS. याद रखना. That cost is what? COGS. That is cost of goods sold. अब बच्चों cost of goods sold में बहुत simple formula है. Very simple. This formula you have to remember it. Cost of goods sold formula is what? Opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. अभी एक बीच में formula लिखा मैंने, वो direct expenses वो बताऊँ. What is the simple formula? Opening plus purchase minus closing. Simple. बराबर, no hard and fast rule. Only opening plus purchase minus closing. Right? What the formula is? Cost of goods sold, opening plus purchase minus closing. अब देखो एडिशनल उसमें क्या डाला है मैंने? ओपनिंग स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स प्लस परचेजेस, जितना आपने गुड्स परचेज किया बेटा, प्लस बेटा परचेज करोगे तो हाथ में तो उठा के लाओगे नहीं फैक्ट्री में. उसके लिए डायरेक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्सपेंसेस या जो भी कैरेज इनवर्ड है वो सब अपने को देना पड़ेगा ना बेटा. सो व्हाटएवर डायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस आर देयर, दैट वी हैव टू ऐड इट. दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव एडेड हियर one more item, that is direct manufacturing or factory expenses, right? Then closing stock will be deducted. So simple rule, no hard and fast rule. Simple closing stock, right? Closing stock तो deduct हो जाएगा. So simple cost of goods sold for what? Calculating what? Cost of goods sold. Simple rule. What is the simple rule? Opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. That's it. What? Opening stock plus purchases minus what beta? Closing stock. So what you will get? You will get cost of net sales. Right? Net sales. Now what you have deducted? You have deducted your cost of goods sold. That is opening plus purchase minus closing. बच्चों, from net sales, if you deduct your cost, so what you will get? You will get definitely profit. Positive रहेगा तो profit, and if it is negative, then there will be a loss, right? और loss होगा तो normal सी बात है, कोई investors interest लेगा नहीं, बराबर है, right? So cost of goods sold will be deducted. So what you will get? First profit is what? Normal means gross. That is what? Gross profit. Because there are so many expenses, so many indirect expenses we have to deduct it. Company है भाई, बड़ी company है. So there are so many expenses. अब digital business भी करेगा तो expense तो होता ही है ना बेटा. राइट। चलो आपका प्रीमाइसेस का खर्चा ज़्यादा बच जाता है उसमें, लेकिन और भी एक्सपेंसेस है, देयर आर सो मेनी इनडायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस वी हैव टू इंकर, राइट। सो फर्स्ट यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट, व्हाट फर्स्ट यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट, और ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट फाइंड आउट करने का स्टेप दैट यू मस्ट हैव टू रिमेंबर इट, सेल्स माइनस कॉस्ट, सेल्स माइनस कॉस्ट, सेल्स आपका नेट सेल्स minus cost means what? Cost of goods sold. So what you will get beta? Gross profit. What you will get? Gross profit. Now we got the profit, we got the gross profit. Now what we have to deduct? We have to deduct all indirect expenses. So here in management accounting, all indirect expenses first start with operating expenses. What beta? Operating, जो main business का operation चलाने के लिए खर्चा होता है, main operations for running business operations, what beta? Business operations के लिए जो expenditure होगा, that is what? Operating expenses. और बच्चों याद रखना operating expenses में very famous first one, office and administration expense. Which one? Office and administration. Office and administration मतलब क्या? Staff salary, salary तो दोगे staff को, free में तो आएगा नहीं कोई सुबह उठ के, right है? So staff salary, office rent, printing and stationery. What? Printing and stationery. There are so many office and administration expenses you have to incur. So that you have to show where office and administration expenses. Got it? Now, secondly, after office and administration expense, next expense is what? Selling and distribution. What beta? Selling and distribution expense. अरे बच्चा, selling and distribution expense करना तो पड़ेगा. इधर किसी का प्रोडक्ट ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं रहता, ओनली दे इनकर व्हाट? सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एक्सपेंस, और सेल्स बूस्ट हो जाता है, राइट है। सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन मतलब क्या? सेलिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन मींस व्हाट? एडवर्टीजमेंट. व्हाट बेटा? एडवर्टीजमेंट, फ्री सैंपल्स, व्हाट? फ्री सैंपल्स, सेल्समैन सैलरी, सेल्समैन कमीशन. अरे कमीशन देना पड़ेगा, वी हैव टू गिव देम कमीशन, देन ओनली देयर विल बी अ व्हाट? सेल्स boost होगा बेटा, boost of what? Sales. Correct or not? So that is what? Selling and distribution expense. So second expense is what? Sales and distribution expense. Now the next one, भाई operating expense में you have seen what? What you have seen? Office and administration. Second one is what? Selling and distribution. Now third one, that is simple, that is finance charges, like bank charges, bank commission and all that. Right? So in case of operating expenses, three main expenses you have to remember. What are those three expenses? First, office and administration. Second, selling and distribution. And third one is what? Finance charges. That's the total of all. Total of all will be added. Then you will get what? Operating expenses. Oh my God, yes. Yes, you will get operating expenses. Now what do you have to do? From gross profit. From gross profit, you have to deduct what? Your operating expenses. So, see here. Gross profit. You can see your gross profit. Now your operating expenses. Total operating expenses will be deducted. So what you will get? अरे भाई gross profit में से operating expenses if you deduct it, so you will get operating profit. Simple logic. Operating profit, simple logic. Operating profit before interest. What बेटा? Before interest. और बेटा interest को एकदम separately क्यों लिया? Because in business organization, interest is the main expense. वो भी किसके लिए? जो debt लिया, क्या? Right? Debt. आपने सुना होगा debt equity ratio. अब कंपनी है तो लोन तो लेगा ही ना यार, सबका डेट रहता ही है कुछ ना कुछ. डेट फ्री कंपनी बहुत कम दिखेगा आपको, बराबर है? डेट फ्री कंपनी बहुत कम दिखेगा. तो अगर डेट लिया है तो व्हाट वी हैव टू गिव? वी हैव टू पे इंटरेस्ट ऑन दैट. व्हाट बेटा? इंटरेस्ट. सो वी हैव टू शो सेपरेटली इंटरेस्ट. मींस इंटरेस्ट का जो आइटम है दैट वी हैव टू शो एज सेपरेट लाइन आइटम, ताकि मालूम तो पड़े भाई कितना कर्जे के ऊपर कितना इंटरेस्ट जा रहा है अपना, कि अपने को ज्यादा कर्जा लेना है कि नहीं, डेट लेना है कि नहीं. सो इंटरेस्ट विल बी शोन सेपरेटली. वो भी एक्सपेंस है, बराबर है, बट दैट मस्ट बी शोन व्हाट बेटा? सेपरेटली. सो वी हैव डिडक्टेड हियर व्हाट? इंटरेस्ट. इंटरेस्ट मींस इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन्स, इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन्स, इंटरेस्ट ऑन बैंक लोन्स, डिबेंचर्स, व्हाटएवर. सो इंटरेस्ट पेड वो माइनस कर दो बेटा. देन व्हाट यू विल गेट? तब जाके मिलेगा नेट प्रॉफिट आफ्टर इंटरेस्ट. क्या मिलेगा बेटा? नेट प्रॉफिट after interest. So these all are the first main stages which you have to remember it. पहले यहाँ तक रिवाइज कर लो, फिर